I cut back my TikTok use this year after realizing how it fed my overindulgent tendencies. Every swipe, another hit off the digital crack pipe. It was a spontaneous Thursday off work, one I planned to spend reading and drafting my next frontier letter and genuinely unwinding. TikTok had other plans and I found myself scrolling away. The algorithm fed me the clip of Theo talking with Ed Sheeran, and it's so funny in a way that is unique to Theo, so I'm gonna play it right now.
What's the most dangerous place to be around here?
Here, I'd say every area of London, literally every area is sketchy.
I love that.
The nice areas are sketchy, the bad areas are sketchy, but you just have to not do stupid shit.
And y'all's robberies all have clues and stuff. That's what I like about London.
Clues.
Or like if there's something that happens, it's like, oh, here's a clue, the detectives or whatever, then they're hot on your trail. That's what I like about London.
I love that everything that you think about England is based on movies and because it's the way that I used to view America as well. I remember my wife went to Duke. I remember we were in town for something and we were driving past the frat houses and I was like, I've never been to a frat party. Should we just knock on the door of one of them? We went up, I knocked on the door, one of them opened the door and was like, why are you knocking on our door? And it was just like 3 dudes and one guy who had his face super glued to the floor. Oh, yeah. And it was like, not the vibe. And I was like, this isn't like the movies at all.
For those of you that don't know Theo Von's content, and Theo Von is a comedian, he has a large TikTok following of 7 million people. Comedians of his caliber possess an authenticity that contributes to their popularity. Reaching their level is impossible without being one of a kind. Theo's character is almost indescribable other than it's so him or it's so Theo. Witnessing Theo's unique authenticity made me reflect on how rare such genuine expression is on platforms designed for endless scrolling and consumption. Social media like TikTok has evolved to increasingly design addiction as the objective because the longer I stay on the platform, the more ad revenue that platform generates as its digital real estate becomes more valuable to advertisers. This trend has evolved and brought us to the death of the follower, the phenomena where social media has evolved to unlink the creator-follower relationship and has largely contributed to the mental health epidemic. One lesser discussed aspect is that it's led to a creator's loss of self, where creators make their creations based on what the algorithm wants, favoring the distribution of their content. True, not every creator bends to an algorithm, but I would offer an educated guess that the majority do. Yet, here I was on TikTok, consuming authentic content while simultaneously hooked up to the dopamine drip IV. This made me consider that platforms like TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Reels, despite their addictive nature, might actually be a good place for an authenticity insurgence to begin. This juxtaposition made me consider that although these platforms are the epitome of the addictive algorithm, even when conscious of its impact, we can avoid letting the algorithm determine our identity and creative output by adhering to principles which help us retain our authenticity. Some hold an extremely pessimistic view of TikTok, considering it Chinese spyware designed to manipulate Western youth, thereby enabling China to undermine Western nations without ever shedding blood, which may in fact be true. Part of the solution is retooling the algorithm, which would be challenging given the amount of money generated from the current model. But perhaps the best solution lies within the same philosophical underpinning as this pessimistic view of TikTok. The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. Sun Tzu. Beyond the doom scroll, authentic talk. I'd attempted to create a TikTok for roughly a year. While I did manage to pick up a follower base, I found that I was subordinating myself to the algorithm. It's not that I was lying or deceiving followers. I always maintained that the highest principle was truth above all. But if something was complex, nuanced, and required drawn-out thought sessions, I would try to compact it down to 1 minute, as the TikTok algorithm preferred. I noticed that while it was good practice to understand something enough to explain it simply, it never allowed exploration of depth and detail. Those who've attended my live streams and have read my newsletters know I strive to think deeply and critically, questioning my own views while moving forward cautiously. I like to say, learn down to the atom and up to God, which is covering the technical basis to the extent that you could explain something down to the atom and understanding the philosophical implications of its implementation. TikTok did not necessarily allow me to explore this. Could have explored it separately, but I felt that condensing it down would lose much of the beauty of the exploration itself. That's not to say TikTok cannot be made beautiful, but it is definitely not the norm. I stepped back and saw the unhealthy habits TikTok was reinforcing within me as a creator. I was not exploring the creations I wanted to explore. I was niching down. And as the advice of the social media gurus go, follow what the audience wants. Follow the likes and gain more of an audience. It became apparent to me across social media as I started creating. On Twitch, I saw streamers do this all the time. It was as if their live stream was explicitly designed for clickbaiting, with their actions and speech mere instruments to achieve a planned clickable clip. If the algorithm will feed others quick, outrageous, and enraging content, why not target all of my time on that kind of content? Goes the thought process of someone who follows this kind of creation that I've been describing. Scrolling through TikTok, I encounter unnatural clips, podcast questions crafted to provoke outrageous reactions that might go viral but don't foster healthy, enduring audience culture. Worse, it means that more than two people are conversing. The algorithm has infiltrated your speech. Over time, you become a version of yourself modified by the algorithm, effectively losing yourself. In a way, these creators have made the same fatal flaw the mainstream media has, where mainstream media no longer pursues the honest reporting of important information to the benefit of clickbaitable headlines. Mainstream social media no longer pursues authentic creation to the benefit of addicting short-form videos. Interestingly, I returned to Substack, started following my interest, and contemplated what captivated my curiosity. While I do follow a disciplined schedule and try to promote my work, follow the path in front of me as it lays itself out through my dreams and unconscious signals. My art is now uniquely me, as I write on the Frontier Letter and create here on YouTube. After taking this path, the last thing that appealed to me was continuing to create with TikTok. It was a necessary part of the journey, but it's worrisome to know that if I'd become ultra successful or viral during that time, I might not have seen my way out of it. But I realized that TikTok is filled with clips like the one I just showed you of Theo Von. It is possible to retain authenticity as a creator on TikTok. Those who write on Substack and create on YouTube with the intention of creating video content in the future shouldn't shy away from platforms like TikTok or YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels. Yes, it is undoubtedly contributing to a mental health epidemic, a loss of self in creators, and a potential psychological weapon of war. However, that does not contend with the fact that it does exist and is one of the most popular social media platforms. Think to myself, what should I do about it? It exists and it's likely not going anywhere for some time. So why not use it to infuse my authenticity into the algorithm? Instead of striving to be clickbait worthy, why not infuse the platform with my unique qualities everyone could offer if they embarked on a journey to discover them within themselves? With anything potentially dangerous, there are principles to follow when creating or using it, which are beneficial to at least keep in mind when using or creating on any of these platforms. To navigate these challenges, I've developed a set of principles, a TikTok Values Operation Manual, to use as a guideline. The TikTok Values Operation Manual. Below is a brief list I've compiled to follow if I decide to repurpose any content or create short-form videos like Shorts or TikToks. I may add to this in the future. If you're reading this or listening to this as a creator or have a unique perspective on a mode of being when creating short types content, please relay the info here in the comments and on my Substack. Number 1, all of the values of Frontier Media apply. These are listed in Substack, which will be in the link in the description below. 2, never subordinate myself to the algorithm. 3, regardless of the length of content, put in the same level of work and diligence that you would for a Frontier Letter piece. 4, favor the creation of clipped content from your long-form videos rather than the sole creation of short-form videos. 4 sub A. This will anchor me to the video creation of a platform that creates a genuine follower connection, which YouTube is the closest as of now. 5, have at least 3 years of authentic and genuine creation under your belt. The evolution of our social media paradigm is not ideal. In fact, I think it's backwards. I've previously discussed some of the problems and potential solutions. I believe that turning the tide, in a way, means infusing authentic creation into those platforms. And in a previous post on Substack, I wrote about the 3 solutions, which you could find, 3 solutions about social media and how we got to the point that we did get, which you could find in the link in the description below. When I see those videos of Theo Von, it doesn't make me want more of TikTok. It makes me want more of his art, which in essence creates a creator-follower connection again. The current social media paradigm is a marvelous feat, and I can connect with the collective human consciousness in seconds. Algorithms underlying these paradigms are flawed, but it's what we have, and reversing course is extraordinarily challenging, especially considering the massive $251 billion industry it has created. Dealing with this problem is best done one individual at a time. As more authentic creation permeates these platforms, there may be an opportunity to incentivize retooling the algorithm to restore the creator-follower connection, or at a minimum, incentivize users to move to the creator-follower relationship with their favorite creators. By committing to an authentic creation, we can collectively shift the social media landscape towards a more genuine and enriching experience. If we can maintain authentic creation, it's to our advantage to use these platforms, so long as you have a way to ensure the algorithm doesn't corrupt you. Change is impending, as I wrote in the Authenticity Insurgents. Quote, I think that this is an impending counterculture movement that's been washing up on the shore, tickling our ankles for the better part of the past decade. Now, tsunami is approaching on the horizon. It's only a matter of time before a culture with extremely advanced technology seeks nourishment of that which is uniquely human, a numinous sight to behold. Thank you for watching today, everybody. If you liked the video, please drop a like below, subscribe here on YouTube, and if you want these essays ahead of time, please go over to the Substack and the link in the description, and you could subscribe there. And until next time, take care of yourself, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye.